Well, some very mild autumn weather around at the moment. Very first thing this morning, a little bit of mist around. But overall, many of us today have got to see some sunshine throughout the morning, and it's not really until we got into the afternoon that the clouds started to build in. But most of us this morning, lovely spells of sunshine. But into the weekend, it is just turning a little bit fresher. A subtle shift in wind direction means we start to tap into something slightly cooler. Into next week, though, those temperatures start to climb again, and overall we're expecting the outlook to remain dry with high pressure in charge. However, it will at times be a little bit cloudy. Over the next few hours then, that cloud continues to spill in from the northwest, and in general enough cloud overnight to help keep up those overnight temperatures. So by the time we get to tomorrow morning, temperatures dropping back to around 7 degrees Celsius, so a frost-free start to the day, but a little bit chilly. Now, any mist and fog will lift through Saturday morning, and then we'll see some sunshine breaking through. Overall, a dry day, but there will at times be a fair amount of cloud feeding in. But with light winds, it's going to feel very similar to today, particularly in the sunshine, feeling quite pleasant, highs of around 16 degrees Celsius. Now, here are your times of high water for Saturday at Southend, 3:45 in the morning, and then again at 4 p.m. tomorrow evening. Let's just take a look at that bigger picture though. From Saturday into Sunday, high pressure firmly fixed across the UK. The centre of that high is across the Irish Sea, just moving around ever so slightly, and underneath that high pressure, particularly as we head into the early hours of Sunday morning, you will just notice these little white patches here. That's some mist and fog around. So the possibility of some mist and fog first thing on Sunday, that will soon lift and break, and a little bit more sunshine around on Sunday, but it is staying dry. But with that little shift in wind direction, it'll feel a bit fresher. It's coming in from the northeast, highs of around 15 degrees Celsius. Into next week then, turning a little bit cloudy, but also milder with highs of 16 degrees. Well, some autumn weather around at the moment, mild autumn weather, some mist and fog around first thing this morning. But for most of us through today, there has actually been a fair amount of cloud around, some brighter breaks always managing to break through. But into the weekend, turning just a little bit fresher, temperatures dropping away a little bit. They start to pick up again into the beginning of next week. But overall, we're looking at a dry outlook. High pressure very much in charge right the way through to what looks like the end of next week. So a settled spell of weather to finish off October. As we head through the rest of tonight then, some clear slots developing by tomorrow morning. Temperatures dropping back to 7 or 8 degrees Celsius. So a chilly start to the day, but certainly a frost-free start. Throughout Saturday then, lots of dry weather around, but it's all about those cloud amounts. More in the way of sunshine expected through tomorrow, but into the afternoon it will at times turn a little bit cloudy, but temperature-wise feeling similar to today, highs of around 15-16 degrees Celsius. Now, taking a look at the bigger picture from Saturday into Sunday, high pressure stuck across the UK, the centre of that high in the Irish Sea, and you'll notice underneath this high pressure, you can see these little white patches here. That's some mist and fog developing on Sunday morning. So the mist and fog could be a little bit extensive first thing. It'll take a few hours to clear, but then Sunday looks like we're going to see some good spells of sunshine around, another dry day to come, and temperature-wise down a little, highs of 14 or 15 degrees Celsius. From Sunday into Monday then, there's another little shift in wind direction, and that will allow us to drag in a little bit more in the way of cloud. But overall throughout the outlook, the winds are remaining light, plenty of dry weather around, and as we head into the early part of next week, the temperatures briefly starting to take a little bit of a turn upwards, so highs of 16 degrees on Monday, same again on Tuesday, but overall staying dry through to the end of next week.